It's not worth your life. That moment ain't worth a lifetime.
Hire security that's getting paid to sacrifice their life for you.
Can't afford it. I mean, a lot of that type of lifestyle is expensive, but that's where it's like you got to place yourself where you living in an area where you don't have to have security every day, or you don't have to be driving with 3 or 4 dudes in the car with you every day. Like
Live everywhere that isn't Miami, New York, or California. There's 47 other states.
You know where that energy at.
I'd move to Mississippi before I moved to California. Period. But when I become a notable person, I'm not my ground will not be in California or New York. Maybe New York, depending on where we at. As long as it's a police station down the street. And again, niggas gonna hear that and be like, yo, listen to this nigga. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm not in the street. I don't play the streets. I understand the streets, and I'm not from the streets. But I'm not dying over these fucking streets. I'm just not.
Far from hood, but understand the streets.
And niggas want to call someone like Drake, like, bruh, he said it in Aston Martin music. This nigga said, it takes a certain type of man to teach to be far from hood, but to understand the streets. And we don't have to elaborate on how we know how to operate in the streets. We were taught correctly.
And I think it's not even more so having a street mentality. It's more so just
street
having
smarts.
That mentality of like, it's not safe out here. It's not.
Period.
It's not safe
anywhere. And you don't got to be from the streets to know that it's not safe.
They're murdering people in grocery stores. They're murdering little kids in schools. So you got to think like those are two harmless places when you think about it. When you're just in there doing your thing, you don't know somebody could just walk through the door with a gun and shoot all y'all to death. So it's every day, everywhere had that mindset of be on point.
Be on point. And Q's. Stay ready so you don't have to fucking get ready. Period. We don't gotta stop doing music. Just stop putting yourself out there.
City girls, period.
Like, period. Just stop putting yourself out there as a fucking target. Stop moving like you a regular person. If you're not a regular person, you can't move like one. We probably always ask ourselves, how did a nigga like Hove make it this long? As soon as he could afford to splurge on security, he did it. You got to ride around in a bulletproof truck that don't look as flashy as one of these Lamborghinis or Spiders or fucking McLarens or Teslas and shit, do it. Listen, images don't last forever. You are supposed to last forever. So don't sell something that you're not strong enough to protect. Period. Just stop. But with the Pnb Rock shit, stop. Y'all niggas need to stop saying that everybody didn't listen to Pnb Rock because that shit really fucks with my head because I'm like, y'all sound fucking stupid.
His wave definitely wasn't like it wasn't.
He didn't reach his apex.
It wasn't even like around. I don't think he was dropping like that.
It wasn't consistent.
You probably had to be his core fan base to know if he's dropping.
And he wasn't.
No, like not. But to regular motherfuckers that's just listening and waiting for something good to come out, you probably haven't heard nothing recently. But when you go back and listen to his catalog now, you like, damn, they killed somebody, a very talented artist. Like we lost another talented artist.
R.I.P. Pop Smoke, R.I.P. XX, R.I.P. Drakeo. The list goes on. And you gotta say R.I.P. PNB. Like, come on. Go back to R.I.P. Biggie, Tupac. Like, bruh, we ain't learned yet. We ain't learned yet.
Cali, I think more so the mindset over there is a very militant.
They gonna bring a purge law over there next.
They got politic laws over there, so I think more so people over here. It's not like how you can go up and down the East Coast of any state. California is damn near half of the damn West Coast, so it's like you have so many different cultures, so many different people. It's so many different lifestyles in one place. So it's like I think people have to understand, like, that's damn near like a country, like over there. Like, people move by like politics, like it's its own government in out here. So I think people are about to be like, no, not to be going like to California. You know what I'm saying? Like with money and to live out there flashing, you're not flashing to the crowd you think is out there. You're flashing to the people that don't got nothing. So they're gonna be like, you know what I mean? It's just, that's exactly why the instances that happen keep happening. Nipsey Hussle got murdered in front of his store.
R.P.
So
Nipsey. Damn,
it's
bruh.
like I think people gotta say he was murdered by his own gang. Like somebody that was involved in his same organization took his life in front of his store. Him providing for the community, they took that away. Like that's the part where it's like if they'll take that away, who the fuck is y'all East Coast dudes over there going over there? It's not unless you living in like Calabasas with the Kardashians and shit. You can't just be out there like that. I don't know. Unless you involved with whoever out, you gotta know somebody but it's like if you gotta put yourself in a mindset like that to live safely, it's like don't be there. Cause you're not from there. So it's like you're not cut from their cloth at all. It'll never be like the original. Like it won't. But RP Pnb Rock. It's not. It's nobody can say nothing that ain't being said right now, and I think more so it's just niggas got to take action on how they're moving, whereabouts, and remember who they are, and think about the future, and not let a moment or just a post or something get you murdered. Like, cause when you're gone, and all we got is your music, and that's it.
Stop blaming his girlfriend too, y'all. Y'all need to leave her the fuck alone, cause she really didn't. I don't really. Listen, there's two sides of the coin to look at it. Yeah, she was. She shouldn't have posted that shit. She should have been more mindful. But
that's where it be like you gotta remember who you with, and like if niggas is comfortable, that's where it's like you can never be comfortable anywhere.
But we gotta understand that now she gotta live with that for the rest.
And you got kids by the dude, so it's like if you really move like that, then that's something you gotta deal with God one day. Like you gonna have your day of answering for that. But I honestly think like for them to take his life like that, he had to have.
They had the video on Twitter and shit, bro.
Right, like, it's too raw right now. Everything is raw. Niggas is not sensitive to nothing. We just seeing it. Like, I thought it was bad back in, like, 2011, 2012, but we never saw, like, as much gore and graphic scenes. Like, we're literally seeing the murder scenes. Like, people's phones coming out.
Yeah, like, the nigga that recorded it, I really want to know, like, what do you watch in your spare time that makes you think that it's okay to pull your fucking phone out and record a man's lifeless body on the ground? When I saw the video, unfortunately, I saw the fucking video, he didn't look good. That's all I'm going to say. He didn't look good.
I seen that video, but I didn't know he died. I thought
no, at that time, but this is the thing, he had already died by the time it got over here. So I saw the video at like 3:30. He died. No, he wasn't dead yet. I saw like 3:30, almost 4 o'clock. He was dead by almost 2 o'clock. So he was fighting for his life, but he died after like 1:30. But it's like, what the fuck got you? Who the fuck raised you to think that it was okay to record a man's lifeless fucking body on the ground? It's the same question I had for the nigga. Who was the one? Was it George Floyd that got strangled on the ground?
I think with that one was more different though, because it's like, what can you do to the cop?
Fucking jump in.
You can, but you got to think like
I'd have kicked the shit out the cop if I was there. I know first instinct. My first instinct is to not pull my fucking phone out.
It's definitely someone has to pull their phone out nowadays, because if it's not on camera, you can't just go off word of mouth. But it's like you want people to take action to fight back and like be on some like shit. Like Tupac shot police for beating a man's ass. Like he defended a man that was getting police brutality. Like something happened to him. But you got to think like,
I didn't even know that's why that was. I knew he shot a cop.
He shot them for that.
I didn't know that was why.
But I'm saying like you got to have like those type of people are not around right now. It's like
this gonna make my profile go viral if I post this shit.
That's the thrill. It's not like I'm getting it for evidence. No, like I got the vid. Like no, I got like it's that's making us numb to the real serious point. And niggas ain't perfect. Like niggas are into that. Yes. Like I'm not saying I like it, but I'm so used to seeing that shit now. It has no numbness upon. Like I think if I would have seen the vids that I've seen of rappers dead and all that, it was like a trophy to see that, because not a trophy, but like you wouldn't see it. But now it's like you're seeing it, like finding a Tupac autopsy picture. You're like, I remember looking that type of shit up and you wouldn't be able to find it. But then I finally did, like years later. But I'm just saying now it's so raw. Like the day after King Von died, the people at the morgue dropped his pictures, like him, his body sliced open and shit. Like that was trending. That was on YouTube. So I'm like, it's definitely very gore and raw and numb. And I can imagine I don't know how much more farther it could go. But I think it's just they doing this for a reason, and whoever is in charge of all this shit with these phones and social media, this is all a plan because they know niggas are gonna, not niggas, but people in general are gonna fall victim and trapped to the mindset of, I want to be the most viral, I want all that.
Fucking weird.
And it's gonna cost you your life. You're gonna be put in bad positions, and you're seeing it literally every day on these social media. And in a way, I'm not involved with social media because of the trend of what is going on. You have to share every moment of your life and all that shit. And I'm not one of them type people. Like, I'm not even comfortable posting a lot of shit. Like, I'll post something and delete it an hour later because I'm like, I look at the people who's looking at it and I'm like, I don't want you looking at me. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I don't even post my son.
Right.
I don't even post
and I can imagine
family.
a rich person posting and you have millions of people.
Like,
you don't know.
You're a walk, like, especially if you at like people know where you live, and that's another thing I don't like. Like, if you look up certain celebrities, like A-list celebrities, like The Rock or like a Robert Downey Jr. or like just somebody popping. If you go on their Wikipedia, their current residence is on Wikipedia. So I'm like, why the fuck do y'all want, like, but in their defense, they can live like that. You know why? I bet you won't go up to a Rock like you'd go up to a Nipsey or you know what I'm saying? Because how we move, we think it's pussy to have security. We think it's pussy to have motherfuckers around us that'll call the feds and put you behind bars for fucking with our life.
I think it's not more so everybody over here. I think it's more so.
I'm not talking not here. I'm talking about just in general with the rap community. Like, we think
I wouldn't say all rappers. There's some rappers.
Majority.
They now the new age rap, and then the rappers before that move the same way, but they all either are dead or in jail.
Right.
I'm saying like they want that. But then you see literally moments of like niggas shoot King Von and all his friends run. Like some of them died there. Like some of them did ride, but then you look at it like it's like no one's really like that lifestyle. You can't back up the movements that you make when this shit really go down. That shit you can't beat that. Like you can't beat death. You can't beat like
it should be in artist writers, the writers thing that they get. That they have to have armed security. The first thing a label should say, a portion of the money you are about to receive from us, it is mandatory that you have security. If you choose not to, I
don't think personally you should have to have security. I'm going to say why, because I think it's the fact of the image you put out there and the message you putting out there.
So you think if you a street artist and you putting out current energy, I'm not talking about like you talk, like it's a difference, like talking about like what you've gone through.
If you're talking about sliding and doing all that type of shit, and ops and all that,
why?
I'm saying that if you are talking about that, that's the energy that's going to come back to you because people are going to run to prove like I'm more than that than you.
So why do you think a label shouldn't demand that they have armed security?
Well, number one, the expense of that is literally too expensive. You got to be at a certain level point. You got to be damn near like Michael Jackson level, like The Rock level, like those type of status people to have on guards 24/7. But you got to think like they got to lose their life too. Like,
but that's what they saw. That's what there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of security companies. It's kind of like saying like somebody that went to the war, they signed up for that. They know what's going to come. So I feel like if you're working for security, it doesn't depend because you have to think about it. Like who get like at this point, this is what I'm saying. I get a label deal. Mm-hmm. I get because they're not paying a lot. Let's say the label says we're going to give you liquid $1 million. Now we know now because if you pay attention correctly, you get $1 million. You're only getting like 3.5, 350.
Yeah.
I would tell them, make sure the money that I'm not going to be able to splurge on, that shit goes to security for, like, you know what I'm saying?
That shit is
It's expensive, but it's the risk. But that's what you're signing up for.
I'm telling you, it's a lot.
So if you
have to have I would say have your own security.
Right. Even if it's your people's, like I'd be like, I know people right now.
Professional shit is too much. Like you're not doing that.
But you gotta have like people still, even the closest ones to you. I would rather put a motherfucker that I don't know from a hole in the wall's life at risk than somebody that I care about. So that's what I'm saying. That's what they work for.
You definitely have to have you. It's like a nigga like 6ix9ine. He couldn't afford that. So it's like you have to look at your average rapper is not going to be able to.
Let me look this shit up.
You're not having security. You can't nowadays. It's too much. It's too expensive. You got to think. And if you're that rapper with that type of energy, they gonna charge your ass the foolish shit because they like, nigga, your ass really could get killed. So that's why I say it's like you shouldn't have to have it. If you just making music, why do you need security?
You talking like 24-hour security?
Yeah, that
guard?
type of security. You paying a bag. All right, 24 hours a day. Come on, 7 days a week. Where he gotta have a family too.
Pay for security. My fault, y'all. Rappers pay for security. All right, so the first thing that pops up. Oh, okay. On average, celebrity bodyguards earn approximately 64.7 a year. The salary range for celebrity bodyguards runs from $42,000 to $145,000 a year. So that's not really a lot, especially if you have like over $1 million deal.
But times that by 4 or 5 people, that's 500,000. Like I'm
gonna be honest with you, I'm paying that. Me personally, I'm paying that.
But think about like if you're carrying that energy on for 2 years, that's over like you can't
show money, endorsements.
If 6ix9ine couldn't afford it, and 6ix9ine was one of the most lit, and he came out with a bag, like all that bread, he got signed, new deal, but he had to lay off some of them security shit.
You talking about for like a 6ix9ine or like a King Von? I'm saying for like, let's take out the street dudes in this equation, because I guarantee you, corporate street rappers probably have a bunch of people around them to feel secure, but they probably have a couple people around them that are being paid.
I feel like it's definitely the energy. If you don't put that energy out there, you always gonna have somebody with you that's ready, like
that's ready to go. Yeah,
and they're not even security.
And that's the thing that people. That's the thing. Like dudes, artists our age need to understand. You cannot just walk out of your house without somebody that's not around you. You can't do that. Why the fuck do we think we could just get in our car? If we live in LA, Miami, and New York, I've been to all 3 of those places. Let me tell you firsthand, those are not fucking cities you should be walking around without anybody around you. Period. So if you are going out, you're basically signing up for something to happen to you. Every time we see 6ix9ine on camera, like a clip or something that he's doing, if you look closely enough, if you're paying attention to his surroundings, it's like 5 or 4 different people around him with black shirts on. Them niggas is around him because that's what they're getting paid for. But he's smart enough to know that it's like, I can't just go outside by myself because of what I put out there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it should be mandatory, even if you like a fucking Miguel or a Bad Bunny. Like, you cannot just walk out your house. I would not, I don't care if I'm making slogans for grocery stores. If people know I got bread, it's going to be somebody around me that's willing to lose his life or he or she life to protect that.
You gotta have them type of people, but most definitely like
that shit needs to be normal.
That shit. Definitely have to afford it.
Yeah. And if you have to start off with people around you, listen, I make them motherfuckers sign waivers. Like, look, you around me because I gotta live to pay you. But the risk you willing to take is like, niggas might get jumped, niggas might confront us. Like, you have to have no fear of multiple people trying to touch me. we 6'4", 6'5", saying that and it's nothing wrong with that shit. There's nothing wrong with that. We can handle our own, but it's like when you are artist, when you got millions behind you, bro, stop acting like you fucking regular.
I'm gonna be honest. I can honestly say, you can still move like that.
You can, but not in
J. Cole,
LA.
that nigga J. Cole, but he be in New York City riding on a bike.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but see, I would not do that.
but I'm saying, like, and J. Cole's one of the top rappers, so I would say,
right.
It's the energy, like in the way you move. What the fuck you look like? You really gotta be a nut, and there is nutty ass niggas.
That's
out
what
here.
I'm saying.
And if a nigga pull up and blow your head off, but I think it's definitely where you putting yourself at. So if J. Cole pull up to Queens and get robbed, then it makes sense. Like, nigga, why the fuck you out there? So it's like, or Brooklyn, like, you know what I'm saying, like somewhere that's not valid. But if he's just riding his bike and doing his own thing, and it's that energy, like, let him do his shit. So I'm saying, like, I think if you pull up somewhere that's not a good area, but you think you good and all that, like, but you really not. I'm just saying, like, it's the energy. Like niggas will not fuck with you,
but
like they won't.
If you're J. Cole, you're still taking a chance.
You're J. Cole because you taking his life, but you're not gonna be able to take nothing off him because he look worse than you.
No, but I'm saying, fuck. That does play a role, and that's why I'm glad Ice-T went out of his way and said, pay attention to the rappers from LA. When's the last time you saw a very successful rapper from LA that wears a lot of jewelry? My point is, a nigga will still try you just to have that on their body. Like, I killed that nigga, goes to jail, and he get respect for that. It's motherfuckers that live, that feel like that. That's what I'm saying. You're right. The image you sell, which is why I said, y'all niggas need to start wearing fake jewelry that look real because of the simple fact that it's a motherfucker out here that's struggling, that's eating ramen and hot dogs every night, that needs that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I get what you're saying. But I'm saying there are still individuals, dumbass individuals, that don't give a fuck about the bread. They don't give a fuck about nothing. They just want the ability to say they are the reason why you are no longer here. And that's why you cannot blame
That's where you put yourself.
Cops, white people from other cultures, white, tan, whatever the fuck, because we do that shit ourselves. And this shit ain't gonna be redundant. But I'm pissed the fuck off. I've been pissed off all week. I love music. I'm never gonna stop doing music. I'm never stopping doing this shit.
Never.
Regardless. But I'm fucking tired of feeling like I can't get attached to a fucking artist because of what the fuck could happen. I'm tired of feeling like I don't want to go super, super far in what I'm talented at because I don't know if a motherfucker wakes up on a bad day and sees me and is like, I don't want him smiling no more. I'm tired of that. That shit is so fucking stupid. It's like, why the fuck can't you just get up and just start figuring out what the fuck it is you want to do and just get it back? There's so much money out here for everybody to spend. Realize is, the rappers, the people have millions, they have to spend that money. Those monies go to banks. Those banks that hold that bread, if you live in that state they spent that money in, that money is going to you. So if you have a bag, if you're getting money, if you're doing shit to get money, you're going to get that money. So you don't necessarily got to rob or kill that person to get that. Because if you got to hustle and you're talented at something, you can get that bread too. It's 1 + fucking 1 equals 2.
You was just saying last time, I was like, yo, what?
No. I'm saying like we share all of our money. We share it. Like there's enough money to go around. Why did you just do that, yo? Because I was really trying to make a point. He said, "Nigga, what?" I'm like, he like, okay. like, no, but I'm saying like, bruh, like we all, you don't probably touch paper bills that Jay-Z had in his pocket. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like, bruh, if you gotta hustle, we all getting the same bread. There's so much money to go around.